Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. I'm actually going to be playing a non-custom deck, so this is most likely going to be Trickstar Numeron Hand Traps, and my opponent, I assume he's playing the Fossil Fusion Adamanticators, but it looks like he's Bricked Hard, considering he's playing 45 cards, like he says in the message under the chat log that you can read here, so the only thing, and to be real, had he played Emancipators, and he had a great starting hand, I probably would have scooped to be real. But considering my deck is 40 cards, and looking at considering how optimal my hand is turning out, it just gives me the advantage right now. So and then with Terraforming, I can choose to play Numerons, I can choose to play Checkstars, I can choose to play Mystic Mine, I can use my hand traps. So this hand is absolutely amazing right now. So. I'm pretty sure where Numeron Network does sends a normal spell from the deck to the grave, and then it's able to meet its requirements without activating from my hand. So he even says, "Welp, might as well rest in peace." But it all depends here on out. So, and what's crazy, I can manage summon four Numeron monsters, like four Numeron monsters as long as they have different names, which is crazy. So the reason why the reason why there hasn't been any rumors of this deck getting hit is because they're not topping. So. And then I do take the damage, but yeah, he can chain and destroy it. And then this is where I kind of screw up over here. So I assumed like as long as they actually battle, they can double the attack. But then I forgot to ask, it only applies unless it involves my opponent's monster. So we go back and forth arguing, but I have to admit that he was in the right and I was in the wrong. So at least he cleared. I'm glad he cleared up for me. So I can have a better understanding playing these cards. It's not that I don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been a while since I dueled playing this deck. And I'll admit I do play several Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, so that's where it tends to be really confusing because I don't play every single deck that I own right now because I'm still trying to adjust with the cards I have and going back and forth when deciding which deck I'll go whenever it comes to locals or online. Because managing several Yu-Gi decks is not an easy task. You have to have the knowledge, the experience, and you have to be able to do tons of research. And there are times where you're gonna have to be willing to get help. So here I screw up again because the control panel. I kind of had an issue with my computer, so I forgot I was supposed to move into my extra monster zone, but it's because when you link summon, they're always supposed to be in the extra monster zone. But unless depending, like if you have a link monster pointing from the extra monster zone to a different zone that's pointing anywhere in the main monster zone. So here on out he plays Harpy's Feather Duster, which is, to be real, is a waste because I only had like one field spell because I have no back row, and not only on top of that, my monster is unaffected by monster effects besides Xyz monsters, so I'm pretty sure he's aware of what my monster is capable of, and unless well, if you look at his hand, unless he has a spell trap that can get rid of my monster can be affected, and he can manage to get rid of it using spell traps. That's the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when you heavily rely on summoning too many monsters, there are monsters that can overcome those unbearing, those tiresome creatures. Because those are the cards that help enable OTKs, prevent disruptive plays, prevent you from going to your next turn. But he's pretty much forced to go into his battle phase, costing 2k damage, and pretty much putting me in the clear. So, sure, he gets to search his fusion spell, but I could draw Lockbird him, but it's more due to the fact that he activated during his battle phase, like, so it would not be able to activate, to be honest. So whether he starts drawing a bunch of cards in his main phase 2, it will not be necessary because he already went through his battle phase. His main phase 1 has already been skipped, so there's nothing to really fear. Unless he summons an Xyz monster and it's able to get rid of my Infinitrack, then I'm pretty sure, yeah, that would have been a misplay. But I guarantee you, judging from his field and his extra, we can assume he's mainly playing Fusion, link monsters, and synchro monsters. Because I can guarantee this is most likely, like judging from his hand field, he's most likely playing Adamancipator Fossil Fusion deck. So even if he manages to send one of his rock monsters from his deck to the grave with Miracle Rupture and draw a card, it will not be enough to take care of my board. It will not be able to help him like be able to make a comeback. So from here on out, I'm just gonna move forward and then play my Trickstar monsters now, since I already played Numerons. So this is where the combo comes in handy, because when he does Ash, I can chain with Likers and I'll be able to get the effect off. And it would have been no point. He calls a game, he calls it quits. It's a good game, so sorry about that. And then he'll just scoop right now. So as you're looking, so again, hope you guys enjoyed the duel. But before I end this video, even though considering he's playing his deck is 45 cards, and then I'm pretty lucky though. But like the reason how I look at it is the reason why I personally feel like he's playing 45 cards. Because I'm assuming he's trying to spam as many monsters, and it's really hard to explain how Adamancipators work for the players who are new to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm sure the experts know who have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot longer than those newcomers. So, but had he managed to summon the board that I was thinking that he was gonna summon with Adamancipators, and plus with the fusion monsters, I'll be real with you guys. I most likely would have scooped and I would have called it quits. Because playing against Adamancipators is no fun at all. Because especially if it's real life, and I'm gonna be serious with you. I'm gonna be serious with you guys. In real life, they're gonna stall for time, and especially with the time rules going on and it's still remaining, it's still happening. But if it gets to the point where they're gonna take up at least 20-25 minutes, you feel like what's the point of even playing? It's like you don't even get to actually finish your turn. You don't even get to start your turn. Like they have all these disruptions. It's like you didn't get to do anything because of the stupid time rules. And that's what animators are meant to do. That's how players realize that looking into the timers and looking to animators and looking at the card strategies that they utilize in their decks and figure out the solutions of how they can increase their odds of winning, that made them realize that that animators and fossil fusion is the best option for them. But also because they want the duel to favor them. And I'm not an Adamancipator player, but I would like to play strong decks. I favor strong decks, but at the same time, it's also if I understand how the archetype is, how our archetype works, and how it's being and the functions and the capabilities that it has, that I can be able to have a better understanding and actually be able to build my own strategy, and then and then try to figure out how I can be able to make it succeed on its own without having to net deck. But in this case, that whether he net decked or not, it looked like he was playing 45 cards. I don't know how many cards you have to play in order for Adamancipators to play at their full peak or to be at high tier. But again, that if had it been the case where he matched some Adamancipators, a bunch of Adamancipators, a bunch of Synchro monsters, and he matched and negate my cards, especially if it has at least 2 or 3 disruptions, I have no choice but to scoop. Because I know that feeling where if your opponent managed to have 2 or 3 disruptions, like you might manage to keep up. You may have an opportunity to try and retaliate. You may have opportunities to counter those cards, but at the same time, it also lowers the odds of you winning at the same time. But then you feel it's just pretty much like the only way you can actually stop cards like that I'm talking about, the cards that your opponent currently has in the it's either Mystic Mine, Forbidden Droplet, Dark Blue No More, etc. Whatever card can stop disruptions and can pretty much help you get around Omni Negates. And that's something I want to tell you guys. For newcomers who are into Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you have a better understanding. And just letting you know, we have to fear when playing against Adamancipators, and that the deck, even though he pretty much bricked, that the deck in real life is no joke, and that you want to be sure, you want to prevent them from going first. Either want to go first, or like I'm playing, like I'm just play tons of hand traps. And those are my thoughts about it. I still feel as the animate pages are still gonna be irritating, and that yeah, you can try, like there's no way of avoiding them, but you can at least try to find ways to counter them and be sure that you have an opportunity to win against animate pages. And if you do manage to do that, you should give yourself a pat in the back. And again, hope you guys enjoy the duel. Be sure to check for more upcoming content in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.